Hi Gemini, here's a general look at your solar chart for November 2011, and there's a very practical feel to this month where the material, physical aspects of your life here on Earth are going to be highlighted, but there's also this is also a terrific month for close relationships as well. And so it's good to team up. It's good not to be going it alone. You may be putting physical effort into getting things running smoothly on very sort of basic fundamental levels, and you might want to be getting straight in and around the home base, particularly from the 11th onwards. Before the 11th, a lot of running around, corresponding, paperwork, maybe chattering away, getting things sorted like that through communications. But then from the 11th it's more about, physical, more physical, basic, fundamental stuff. So until the 23rd, it's a good time for some of you to be paying more attention to health and diet, and also exercise. Might be yours, might be another's, as organising all that physical side of life helps you to pave the way for better conditions in the future. And some of you will be having more contact with service providers at this time, or you yourself could be the service provider. Communications in close relationships is very well highlighted, Gemini. In fact, there's a terrific duo in your relationship house this month, well, right up until the 27th, and then Venus moves, but she doesn't move very far, so really it's all month. And going on into next month as well. Great time to collaborate with others, liaise, form alliances, get deeper into things, maybe from the 27th on into December. So this month is more about clicking, it's about rapport, it's about bouncing ideas off each other, and even if you don't agree with somebody else's take on something, at least it helps you clarify your own thinking. So definitely agreeing to disagree, perhaps. And you at this time could be looked upon as the one who has the information, who is the guide, the advice giver, the teacher, and you could be very much also yourself weighing up the pros and cons, but really enjoying somebody else's take on things as well. So in general, it's kind of it's biased in that direction, that you will actually be enjoying this interaction very much indeed. So it's a good time for you to be applying and developing further your renowned people skills and communication skills, and you can be very productive at this time. You can get an awful lot done. Just be realistic about tackling the devil in detail, rolling up your sleeves and getting on with it. Try to get loose ends tied up with others, whether this is a long-term close relationship or a fleeting, temporary close relationship, as well as you can, so that there's not kind of you're not opening yourself up to a sort of a protracted negotiation, or some sort of signing up for more than you meant, because try to get it done before the 24th, because that's when Mercury, your ruling planet, goes retrograde for 3 weeks. When that happens, there could be delays, hold-ups, cross-wires, misunderstandings. Somebody may be stepping a little bit on your boundary when it's not convenient, and you having to sort of make an effort to be diplomatic when you wanted to be doing something else, or however it was working out for you. So try to get, as I say, as much as possible, as much as ever we can, tied up before with an agreement, or with mutual feelings about something before the 24th. But I mean, after the retrograde is finished, then you'll be able to sort of start going forwards more. Things will start going forwards more smoothly. So you can be very, as I say, productive this month, and it's around daily tasks, health, exercise, in general. All of your relationships could get a boost. Very busy there. Any exchange can go well, be more friendly, could be romantic. But also, here's a point that might interest you, materially beneficial. Now that might mean money, or it might mean that there's an exchange going on, because actually short-circuiting money more and more mightn't be such a bad idea now, and going on into the future and over next year and beyond. But so on the level of some sort of exchange, whether it's money or not, but it could be, lucrative, but it could be also to do with resources that come to you through others or through your dealings together. You get these resources coming towards you, and it's a potentially great time for business negotiations. They could go well, and feeling more rapport in close relationships, whether they're personal or professional. So all month you can be developing harmonious relationships, you can be thrashing out a plan, you could be comparing notes. There's such a lot going on here. So you get the idea. Now from the 27th, that's a time when a relationship might deepen, or something might touch you quite deeply. That's the time for you to take confidential advice, or maybe it's have that heart-to-heart talk, pick up the phone, just kind of make yourself unload, put your cards on the table. And also from the 27th until around about mid-December, that could be a time, again, I was speaking about lucrative, that could be a lucrative time for you there. Now, from the 11th, you could be busier in and around the home base. As I said earlier, it's about putting physical effort into shoving things around, DIY, maintenance, repairs, decorating. But you could be feeling a little bit more introspective, a little bit moodier, touchier at times, because you're feeling a bit nostalgic or sentimental, or there's elements of the past that are kind of coming alive more in the present. You might be saying to yourself, I've been through this movie before. So anyway, however it is for you, just get on with some practical tasks which will take you out of yourself and take your attention off any sort of inner turbulence, inner feelings going on there. From the 23rd, you could be again in this mode of cooperating and liaising. Again, you could be feeling that a certain relationship is anything but casual, and things are getting, deeper, and you're getting maybe a little bit more involved there. Now, the new moon and partial lunar eclipse on the 25th of November, that signals new conditions coming in your close relationships over the coming month. That will be from the 25th over that coming month. But also that will be followed up with a much more powerful eclipse, a total solar eclipse, which is happening on December the 10th. And that will be really underpinning that and amplifying that energy for several months to come. So that will be going on into 2012. So that looks pretty interesting. But a new paradigm or a gear shift, in relationships there, in one-to-one or close relationships. Now, every month I speak about the slower moving outer planets from Jupiter to Pluto, just to go over those again here now. Jupiter's in the background area of your chart, meaning that there are invisible hands helping from behind the scenes. That's how I like to see it, and well, that's how I know it is for myself. But also it tends to bring that feeling of expansion and abundance through the unseen realms, through anything which is to do with your subconscious, your dream life, your imagination, your past lives, in fact. Very, very positively highlighted and emphasized by this Jupiter presence here until next June. So it could facilitate you getting involved in anything behind the scenes, beavering away quietly at a project, planting the seeds, or getting into yoga, meditation, tai chi, qigong, and anything which will still the mind and take you into another reality, another dimension. It's also, the learning through doing planet, learning through experiencing planet, so it's very important not to miss this potential in this rather obscure, low-key, subtle area that it's in. And on another more physical level, because this is not a very physical area it's in an area to do with no ego as well, but on a more physical level it can be that you have more to do with places of healing like hospitals or therapy centers or therapists or remedies or other forms of healing through other ways, this is a good time for you to be developing a knowledge base with Jupiter there about all of that stuff, or not all of it, but maybe just bits of it, whatever is applying to you and relevant to you at this time, but definitely developing there, because Jupiter is about growth, development, expansion. So through the healing area, artistic, spiritual, psychic, and anything to do with, as I say, going through, as it were, the gate out of this dimension into multi-dimensions through stilling the mind and the practice of meditation. There could be a very special relationship which is happening from behind the scenes, which is like a teaching that comes to you, like you're being downloaded. This is very likely with Jupiter in this area here, and this could be very valuable, but just blossoming again quietly in the background. So however this is going to be working for you over the months left that Jupiter's here, this is going to give you the chance to expand your ability to be more self-reflective, and to be more compassionate and giving of your time or understanding to someone or something worthwhile. And of course that includes yourself. Now, the longer transit of Saturn in Libra, this is a good one for you too. It's potentially a great ally. It allows you to apply in a concrete way your ability to be creative, to be innovative, but to overcome how many barriers and hurdles, my goodness, so many of them, but to kind of break through and go, through into the area where it gets fun and empowering, and you can really enjoy yourself and be self-expressive and feel good. But there's likely to be delays here. There's likely to be, yet another extension on whatever, in order for you to get into the area where you put the barriers behind you. Even though the transit doesn't finish until autumn 2012, some of you could feel that you've actually accomplished what you pretty much what you wanted to, even though it was a bit of a hard slog before the transit's finished. But that depends on where you are in Gemini, where your sun is in Gemini. So now this area is also Saturn is about challenge, and this area is also about children. It's about animals as well, and lovers, romance, anything where you can where you can let go and be spontaneous, you see. And with Saturn here, it's about challenge, it's about difficulty. So anything around children or animals or romantic partners is just more difficult to achieve. It's like there's a resistance there. Okay, it's like a spanner's in the works. So you've just got to be more persevering and keep plugging away. Not rigidly, but flexibly, but know when you've got it right with yourself, because that's the only thing we can do is take steps when we've checked it out with ourselves. In all honesty, that's that's the best I can do here. So we can only do our best in any given moment, and no more should be expected. So keep plugging away with it, whether it's creativity, whether it's to do with children, whether it's to do with speculative projects, because again this is an area to do with taking a gamble and a risk and having speculating or investing, and again difficulty because things are uncertain, things are up in the air, you haven't got enough of a resource or whatever it is. Nothing's going to happen quickly in those areas, and you just have to develop that self-discipline, that patience, and that perseverance, and you'll get there in the end. Uranus has come out of the sector, bringing change and uncertainty into your professional life, but also in your general life direction, like, which way am I going here? So stopping the window shopping with that, more certainty and clarity is coming in now, and you could even be very much changing your social circle and hanging out with a different lot of people. And you Geminians born 21st to 24th of May, or with up to 2 degrees of Gemini rising, going to feel this vibration most strongly this month. Neptune's transited back into the back end of Aquarius until next February. That means a teaching could come to you, a realization could come to you, or you could be the teacher. You could be the one that helps somebody's eyes open to something, and you could be the creator and the promoter and the guide. And you Geminians born in the right about the last couple of days or the last couple of degrees of Gemini rising will feel this influence mostly this month. For many years Pluto is quietly underpinning a slow gear change in your deep feelings, your affinities, your emotions. You'll be ditching elements of the past. You'll be deepening your awareness, deepening your appreciation, really, of deeply connecting, I suppose you could say, with somebody. Pluto's going to help you dismantle old conditions externally and materially to fit in with this new, conscious awareness that you have on the level of emotion. Joint finances, property, inheritance, all of this comes under that one there, corporate business. This is an emotional rebirth time, but this is a very, very slow, subtle, long-term transit. And you Geminians, if you do notice it, you Geminians born May 23rd, 27th, or with 1 to 6 degrees of Gemini rising, going to feel this influence most strongly this month. It also underpins psychic ability, insight into other realities. So that sounds intriguing, doesn't it? So that's it from me. If you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to that too. It'll add to or subtract from what I've said here. To know your moon sign, well, you've got to know the time of your birth. And if you know the time of your birth, go to astrodienst.com and you should be able to figure that out, and then you'll find out where your moon is, where your moon was when you were born. And I'll see you the next time.